Hey guys, this is another one of my note to self videos. Just played a couple of games against this same player, R.A. Johns from Madagascar. Won both. And this is the second game that we played, and there's a really instructive point in this game. So I want to go over it with you, because this is something that I need to get into my head. So we've got an England Gambit declined. Yes, there are lots of fans of that opening. Okay, so I think the correct move here is to bring the bishop out to c5. Just get the bishop outside the pawn chain, develop this bishop and crack on. Because our opponent has basically already given up the initiative of playing with the white pieces by moving the d pawn twice. Alright, so we have c4, d6, knight out, and h3. A little bit on the passive side. I bring out my bishop. So now look, I am playing with the initiative here. I've got three pieces developed. He's just developed his second. Out comes the queen now. Queen onto e7. I'll probably bring my knight to d7, and then I've got options of castling either way. All right, so bishop comes out now to pin the knight. And this is okay, but I think the development, the loss of the development lead is already starting to pinch. So I bring my queen's knight out now to d7, which defends this knight. Yeah, my queen's a bit short of squares, but I think we can relieve the pressure quite soon. e4 comes out now, hitting my bishop. Bishop retreats. Knight comes around. Now, at this point, I'm thinking, look at this, right? White already has 3 pawns on light squares in the middle of the board. 2 of them, the d and the e files, both locked. So I'm figuring this bishop is not a full-blooded bishop. So I want my opponent here to trade off. So I had a bit of a think about this, and I decided to push h6, because if he takes as well, I want to recapture with the f-pawn towards the outside. Away from the centre, I want to open up the f-file, and one reason is, because he's moved the c-pawn already, I can't see him castling that away. I think he's going to castle short, and so this f-file might prove useful. So let's see how it goes. So he takes the bishop, I capture, f takes g6. Good, happy with that. Is he going to take the knight? No, he retreats the bishop. Okay, now, queen moves over to f7. This now becomes my entire focus, really, the f-file. I've got this lovely bishop. Remember, we moved that out on the second move. You know, so it was d4, e5, he pushes, and then my bishop comes straight out, okay? So he develops this other bishop. And this is actually a missed win. Castling long at this point is a missed win. Okay, so see if you can figure out why it's a missed win. So we'll return to this in a second. Okay, so clearly I've got a lot of pressure potentially building up on f2. In addition, the king can't move. The king's penned in by his own pieces. So I am looking at this idea of, look, if I can move my knight and then queen takes f2 is checkmate. Now, so this is what happens, and now he pushes a3. This is a blunder because of the attack that's lined up. So pause if you wish and find out the best approach here for black. And this is really the instructive moment, because what I'm looking at is, I'm looking at how can I move my knight and then line up this as an idea. So I figured out I can't capture this pawn, much as I would like to, because knight captures, and when the knight captures, the knight is then defending f2. It's also attacking this bishop, which is a key part of my attack. So knight takes there is not a possibility. So what I figure out that I can do is I can actually take this pawn here, and then I've got a checkmate threat. But this is not what's best. This is not what's best in this position. Now, he can't take back because it's checkmate, right? So what he does is he castles, right? Well, I'll show you the end of the game, then we'll come back. Okay, so I've won a pawn here. Put my knight back here. I'm now attacking this undefended bishop. Queen comes in. I defend my knight with a pawn. Retreats. I get my queen out of line of the knight. He pushes a pawn up. Line up with a queen. Comes in with an attack. But I can now capture that knight for free because it comes with a discovered attack on the queen. Now the queen has to do something. Okay, well, interesting moment. This is actually very good by my opponent. So he figures out that he can capture the knight because he's got then attacking the queen and then attacking a knight with check as well. So here I can't take the queen. I take the queen, he takes my queen. He's then attacking my knight and attacking my rook. And I'm going to lose a piece. So I have to move my queen out of the way. So it wasn't a free knight at all, right? Queen moves, g4, h4. Okay, and again, look at this bishop. This bishop that's been sitting there on move 2, just holding his sword, right? g3. And I'm taking advantage of the fact that this pawn is pinned since white castled, okay? And then my opponent here blunders with queen takes g3, and he can't recapture because of the pin, and he resigns. Right, so let's go back a few moves to this position, right? This is the blunder that actually restores equality in the game. I'm feeling good here, but I shouldn't have castled. In addition, moving this knight with a threat of checkmate is not the right approach. Why isn't it the right approach? And what was missing in my thought process that caused me to miss the right approach? And what it is it's the idea of, well, okay, we've got some moves, okay? We've got moves. We've got bishop looking at pawn. We've got queen looking at pawn. We've got knight moving out of the way with some kind of threat, okay? So these are the moving parts of our problem. The question, Raymond, is how to solve it. And the best move here is actually to reverse the move order. How can you change the order of these moves to change the nature of the attack? Okay, so this idea of a discovery, I mean, this is terrible. This doesn't work. Now my bishop's in some trouble, might have to move here, something like that. But my attack is pretty much over. Maybe my knight will try and come in here and swap off. Okay, but then opponent probably just castles and carries on with his day. Bishop here, not playable, but something like queen there. He's probably okay, right? So that's not the idea. If you reverse the move order though, look at this. Bishop takes f2 check. And now our discovered mating threat has transformed into a discovered check. And if the king was to capture the bishop, okay, now figure out this is really worth doing. Pause the video and figure out how black can force a checkmate in a few moves from this position. Right, so my first instinct was knight takes e4 check. Look, it's a double check, right? That's good. And very often we'll get to a certain point and go, oh, double check. That'll do me, right? Where's my mouse? Right, do it. But then actually the king can run away. Queen comes here, king comes here, and we end up in well, it's not a forced win, put it that way, okay? So how can we improve on this? Well, this is the key square. You don't want the king to go there. So actually, knight g4 check. And if you look at it, the king can't go there because of the knight anyway, okay? If he goes here or here, then queen to there is mate, okay? So he can't stay on this file, can't go there, right? If he goes here, then queen there is mate because the knight is guarding h2. So the only move now is king g3. And then the queen comes into f2, defended by the knight, right? King is forced to take the knight, and then that is actually mate. And that is pretty. But what we're talking about here, when I look at a sequence like that, I know that is my next level. That is my next level to reach. Okay, so let's go back. So instead of this, the better move come with the forcing check, right? And the king can't take the bishop. So if he comes here now, then I guess we just retreat the bishop, and we're in a very good position. I think actually the best move here is castles. It is castles, and then he's going to have to do something like block with the queen. But it's a hopeless situation now from this point. If I look, I'll switch the eval on, see if that works. Yeah, so it's -5 now in black's favour. And again, yeah, queen f3 is the best line from the engine. Queen e7 now, getting out of the way, and king takes f2. This is white actually playing the best moves, and now knight h5 and the queen falls. Well, the bishop will have to block. No, bishop blocks isn't even among bishop blocks. It's just rook takes. So yeah, horrible situation. But this is the point. It's about getting to a situation, a position like this. Okay, before I castle, situation like this, and seeing these various moving parts, okay, and knight moves as being a third option, and having the circumspection to say, okay, well, that's one idea, but what if I change the move order, right, and play it through in my mind? I've got eight and a half minutes at this point in time, plenty of time to look at this much more forcing idea, because something like this, it's okay, but look at the eval now. It's dropped right back down, okay, because he doesn't have to do anything. He can just castle, right? Yeah, he just castles. He castles and he lives to fight another day. However, with this move, because it comes with check, far more forcing, my opponent is going to have to do something. So king e2 is his second best move here, and then knight h5. So getting ready for the knight to come in with a fork and check and queen flying in. Horrible experience there for my opponent. But yeah, another nice one, and it's pleasant as well that it comes out of this England gambit declined. Really, there is no better move for white here. There is no decent move other than to take the offered pawn, which is why I'm kind of liking this opening at the moment. So there you go. I thought that was useful, and it's what I'm really doing in this is teaching myself a lesson. So I hope it's useful for you guys too. Thanks for watching. See you later.